Please rise. Please be seated. You can hold hands. Yeah, well, short efficient, it is what it is. Loyal, fun, cuddling, good looking, and a loving friend. These are just a few of the reasons why Kristen and Tommi have chosen me to officiate their wedding today. Now that we've established my credentials, on behalf of the bride and groom-to-be, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone gathered here on this very special occasion. If you're from Finland, say moi. Moi. If you're from Alabama, even if you're an Auburn fan, say roll tide. Roll tide. If you're from somewhere else, let me hear you laugh awkwardly. And to all of you, kiitos, or thank you for coming. My name is Daniel. I'm a friend of Kristen and Tommi, and like you, I'm honored and happy to be celebrating their relationship today. When I asked them how it would feel to see so many loved ones gathered in their honor, Kristen said of the ceremony itself, and I quote, "Stressful AF, I hope no one tries to look me in the eyes." But of the party, she said, "I can't wait. Every time we think of the wedding, we think about how cool it'll be to introduce the people we love to each other. So let's make Kristen and Tommi proud. Everyone promise, without looking Kristen in the eyes, that you'll make a new friend before the night is done." As this evening's officiant, it's my responsibility to get us to the party as soon as possible, and I take that responsibility very seriously. So, to begin this ceremony, Missy Haig, an old friend of Kristen and more recent friend of mine, will be sharing a poem with us. All you, Missy.
1 second. Okay, this poem is called "I'd Rather Rise in Love with You" by Yana Lynn Umipig. I don't want sweet nothings whispered in my ears. I'd rather be confronted by the savory somethings that truths communicated in fullness and compassion bring. I don't want long gazes or to get lost in your eyes. I'd rather have our eyes brave exploration, discovering every part of each other, every wrinkle and tint and shade, every scar and marking that our livings have made on us. I don't want to feel I knew you in another life or that I dreamed you in my sleep. I'd rather learn you piece by piece in reality. I'd rather you teach me how the you today is better than before, and I want my new self to love you more as I love me more. I don't want to be attached or taken or spoken for. I don't want to make each other full. I'd rather be two whole beings, mind, body, and soul. I don't want to believe you do not choose who you love, that you just know when you do. Love to me is a choice. You wake up every day and you choose what you want, what you need. Speak your truths to receive truths in exchange, past what is perceived, past assumptions to gain knowings. And to keep love growing, it's more than just the showings. It's the clarity and communication. It's the calm and patience past frustrations. It's the listening in the stillness. It's every message from body to breath. I don't want to fall for you or fall in love. Falling is falseness and it's fleeting. I'd rather rise in love with you, in ascension, without fear and apprehension. I don't want to sacrifice any part of me to make it work. I want to invest in all of me and all of you and give gratitude that we empower one another in self-worth. I don't want to be possessed or bound by love. I'd rather be liberated in loving. I'd rather be love that is revolutionary, love that is patience and respect and pride, and honesty, attraction, joy, and truth. In everything we say, show, and do. In love with you is all of this to me, and there's no place I would rather be.
Keep this, Missy. As Missy just explained to us, love is a process. It's not a feeling, but something you build as you take care of someone over the course of a life. It's the sum of what you do for others. The first thing Tommi did for Kristen was wait. Their story began as all great love stories do, over breakfast at a co-working space in Helsinki. Kristen and her friend Erin were friends with Tommi's new co-workers, so he joined their table one morning. Kristen recalls Tommi bonding with Erin over a mutual love of jiu-jitsu, but what Tommi recalls is being instantly smitten with Kristen. She's an amazing person, he told his friend Kertu. Fun, energetic, and extremely good looking. But she's dating someone else. If only she were single. Kristen remembers thinking, perhaps accurately, that Tommi was a bit of a playboy. But she was still intrigued, finding him, and I quote, loving and loyal. It wasn't long before these two were touchstones in each other's lives. By the time of their first date, they were already talking every day. Think about that. How many people do you talk to every single day? Their friendship was, in a word, natural. Kristen made Tommi happy in every area, and Tommi was the first person with whom Kristen felt comfortable spending long stretches of time. Before Tommi, she told me, the thought of hanging out with someone for a really long time stressed me out, tied my stomach into knots. They just liked each other, and they wanted to share a life. Thankfully, Kristen's friends could see this, and when she was once again single, Erin and Missy encouraged her to say yes to a date with Tommi. He invited Kristen his apartment in Tolo, I hope I pronounced that right, where he cooked her risotto and wooed her with a romantic playlist of gangster rap and 80s yacht rock, whatever that is. He remembers making Kristen laugh. Kristen remembers him picking up the phone to excitedly tell his dad about her. He was honest and straightforward, Kristen told me, and didn't hide anything. Kristen, however, was not so forthcoming and pretended to like Tommi's risotto. A dark secret she has kept until now. Sorry, Kristen, but Tommi deserves to know the truth. And Tommi, you got to remember to add the cheese next time. In the little risotto lie, we find something lovely. Kristen and Tommi do what all great couples do. They support each other in every aspect of life. When Tommi lost his job in the post-COVID economy, Kristen helped him carry on. Instead of dumping my ass right away, Tommi told me, Kristen said, we'll find a way to make this work. And they did. When it became apparent that Kristen's father, Kirk, wasn't long for this life, Tommi was a rock, not just for Kristen, but for the Chernishovs back in America. He really connected with my family, she said of those difficult days. He was there and always checking in. Kirk couldn't be with us today, but he did approve of this union. Toward the end, Kristen told him that she thought he and Tommi would be married, even though they weren't yet engaged. And she doesn't remember exactly what he said, but she does remember that he was really excited to hear it. Let's have a moment of silence for Kirk. Kristen and Tommi both report that there was no romantic turning point in their relationship. In a way, they've always been each other's one. They probably would be married already were it not for the fact that Tommi is something of a hopeless romantic. You see, Kristen is now a Finnish citizen, a status that took her years to earn. And it was a rocky road to Finnishness. At times, it seemed that she would never get her European passport, or even worse, that she'd have to move back to the States. Ugh. At that time, marriage was already on the table and would have given Kristen an automatic pathway to Finnish citizenship, but Tommi wanted to get married for, and I quote, the right reasons, not just to scam the government. He wanted his dream wedding. Men, they're only after one thing. Starry-eyed though he may have been, Tommi grew tired of waiting. On a trip to Wales, he decided it was time to propose, whether Kristen was Finnish or not. He had big plans, when, where, and how he would ask her to marry him, but life got in the way, as it so often does, and on the first morning of their trip, Tommi awoke to Kristen screaming and cheering downstairs. She was finally Finnish, and she had earned that nationality on her own. For Tommi, this was the perfect time to show Kristen how much he wanted to marry her, but he fumbled the pass. My brain shut down, Tommi recalled. It was a whole mess. I blurted out something and she didn't really understand what I was doing. Later she asked me, were you trying to propose? Supportive person that Kristen is, she gave Tommi a redo. And here we are today. These two have learned a lot from each other over the years. From Tommi, Kristen has learned how not to sweat the little things, to talk about your feelings, to move past disagreements, and forgive. Tommi forgot to fill out this part of the questionnaire I sent him, so I hope that Kristen has been teaching him how to be more organized. Love is a process. Kristen and Tommi have also learned a lot about each other's cultures, for this marriage is not just the union of two people, but the union of two proud nations. Finland and Alabama. Just as Kristen has become more fluent in English, and Finnish rather, Tommi has become more fluent in English, and this is extended to their families. His mother, Tutti, speaks English a lot more than she used to, and rumor has it that his dad, Asko, has been studying English in secret to better communicate with his daughter-in-law-to-be. How's that going, Asko? Puhutko huva anglantia? All right, sounds like Kristen's mom, April, has some homework to do. Never too late to learn Finnish. Some of you may be surprised to know that Kristen is an introvert at heart and has found peace in Finland, a country where sometimes it's okay to not say anything, where there's no such thing as awkward silence. That said, she still thinks you should say excuse me when you bump into someone at the supermarket. Kristen has also found her backup job. If Wikitongues doesn't work out, she's moving straight to Tampere and becoming a tram operator. For his part, Tommi reports that while he'll never understand American portions, in his words, a large coffee feels like a 1.5-liter jug, and he'll never appreciate mayonnaise on a salad. He has come to love country music, and perhaps most importantly, the great American sport of football. Since Kristen is a linguist, I can think of no better way than to honor this multicultural union than with a language lesson. You see, the national motto of Alabama, as I've been taught, is Roll Tide, which refers to the Crimson Tide football team at the University of Alabama. Crimson Tide here is a visual metaphor for the team's crimson uniforms, which flood the field like tempest waves. So when Alabama fans say Roll Tide, they're asking the gods of football for the tide to roll in and drown the opposing team, especially Tennessee. So we workshopped the first ever Finnish translation of Roll Tide. And that translation is, Alabama fans, pay attention because this is going to be important in a moment. Hukkukaa vuoroveten. Now let me hear y'all say it. Hukkukaa vuoroveten. Move up. Well done. Missy and Aro, would you please bring up the rings? Tommi, as you place the ring on Kristen's finger, please repeat after me. I, Tommi Heikkinen, take you, Kristen, my friend, to be my wife.
I, Tommi Heikkinen, take you, Kristen, my friend, to be my wife.
I will keep building love with you, day in and day out.
I keep loving you day in and day out.
I will support you in every facet of life, big and small.
I'll support you in any way, fashion, day and life.
Good enough. I will always leave extra room in my suitcase so you can pack more.
I always leave room in my suitcase so you can pack more.
I promise in Kirk's honor to always root for Alabama.
I always promise to root for Kirk.
And to remember
What?
that cheese goes in risotto.
And to remember that cheese goes into risotto.
Till death do we part.
You'll tell we fun.
Kristen, as you place the ring on Tommi's finger, please repeat after me. I, Kristen Chernishoff, take you, Tommi, my friend, to be my husband.
I, Kristen Chernishoff, take you, Tommi, my friend, to be my husband.
I will keep building love with you day in and day out.
I will keep building love with you day in and day out.
I will support you in every facet of life, big and small.
I will support you in every facet of life, big and small.
I will stay loyal to Ferrari, even though they suck and McLaren or Red Bull wins.
I don't know if I could say that. I will stay loyal to Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton, even though Red Bull and McLaren suck and always win.
Tommi, do you accept that revision?
Yes.
Okay. I promise to stop making fun of your D&D character Lego.
I promise to stop making fun of your D&D character Lego when he isn't doing something stupid.
Tommi, do you accept that revision?
Yeah, I'll let it pass.
Good enough. And to always look at memes together in bed.
And I promise to always look at memes together in bed before 10 p.m.
Excellent.
All right, we got it. Till death do we part. Will everyone gathered here today please join me in blessing this union? Alabama fans, get ready. Repeat after me. Hukuka Vodovaten. In other words, roll tide.
Roll Tide.
By virtue of the power my friends vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Kristen, you may kiss the groom. Y'all, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you for the first time as husband and wife, Tommi Heikkinen and Kristen Chernishoff. Folks, it's cocktail hour now. The party begins. Go make friends.